Hello and welcome. My name is Vex. Today is Saturday. We've got another week of Friday leaks to talk about. And this one, I feel like I say this every week, but this one's particularly juicy. We got some info on a previous boss, but that was like, I don't know, 6 months ago or so. We finally get a look at another boss for Godforge. I'm excited to look at this. As ever, if you want to join the chat while we go through these, we do record these live every week over at twitch.tv/vexinglive. I have links to everything down in the comments below. But let's talk about Fafnir. I had no idea. I still have no idea what Fafnir is in terms of like lore or mythology, so I'm hoping that we can gather a little bit during this. But I mean, it looks cool. Well, there's tons of different concepts we can look through, and even some of his lair. So I'm excited. So first off, I think that this is what they're gonna go with, Holy as the normal version of Fafnir. The people at Fateless have talked about multiple times that many of the bosses are going to have variants. I think because they're going to do what they call dungeon mutations. So while in like Raid Shadow Legends you might have a boss and then a hard mode version of the boss, we might get like a holiday version of a boss, or a mutation for an event where some part of the boss's kit is changed, so they might change the look of the boss to reflect that. Like maybe it switches from being a burning dragon to like a poisoning dragon or something like that, to sort of switch up your strategies and have some fun in the event. So I'm excited for that. I think that's really fun and pretty unique. Okay, so let's talk about this. So we've got some golden areas resembling coins. I think that this dragon has a particularly Smaug attraction to gold. Part of his lair looked like very gold hoard heavy, but I guess it's sort of like traditional dragon lore. He could have some localized emissive areas, green on tongue and tip of tail. It can give us the hint that he is a poisonous dragon. Okay, so he is a poisonous dragon. But the rest of the palette is more in synergy with lava environment. I'm getting the I should have researched this beforehand. But I feel like he's from the oh, maybe not. I was thinking maybe the Avalon type stuff, but he deals with Asgard characters like Odin, Loki. Interesting. Slain by a member of the Volsung family. Oh, there's too many words I can't pronounce. But, okay, so this is not Avalon symbology. Is that a word? Sigurd? Yeah, related to Sigurd, I guess. In some lore fashion. But more Asgardian. Interesting. Enraged. Interesting. Okay, so this is just a head-on version. They do seem to talk a lot about how they want fights to evolve as you're in them. Boss fights seem to be a little bit more interactive. So having an enraged state after maybe like, when it reaches like 30% HP, where it like visually changes and the kit changes, seems really cool. I think that looks good. I think the green in his nose and glowing in his mouth could be more pronounced. So this is like feedback from Dane, the art director. But that also can be Noted for emission and VFX. Do we need to redo the front view, or do you feel comfortable using it as shape guide as a reference will match the current version? So I don't know if we're going to get 3D modeling pictures yet, but I was reading before the brief, and he could have VFX throughout his body and when enraged. So we could see the changes from one phase to another. I changed the green emission area to fire emissive ones. Yeah, it's strange that he's got like fire emission, but he's a poison dragon. Maybe it's a little bit of both. Maybe there's some burning and some poison. Ooh. Why is this image so small? Oh, no. He could have some emissive green, bright green, that also... Oh, what is that word? Combined with the... something like... Oh my god. Wait. Let me check to see if this image is literally anywhere else in the brief. Oh, it is. Okay. I'm not deciphering this. Oh my god, this is so much better. Why'd they give us that? I'm thankful, but I guess we get to see it side by side. Sure. Anyway. He could have some emissive areas, bright green that also contrast with the environment, like horns, tongue, eyes, and the underside of the chest or scales at the tip of the tail. So this is just a concept. I guess the other one was just a concept too. I'm so curious. It can give us the hint that he's also a poisonous dragon. This seems much more poison dragon-like. The other one seemed very traditional dragon. I think I like the look at this a little bit more. I think the solid green, I mean, I don't want to say comical, but it looks a bit too green. Maybe this will be either a mutation or maybe like a hard mode, easy mode. I don't know. Okay. So we've got some changes. So this is... Oh, okay. So they've gone and drawn some line art over the green dragon that we just saw. Maybe I've gone backwards. And that's where it started, and then this dragon is where it ends. Like, this is the actual concept that's going to go to 3D. I think this creature is close, but something has been lost in the adaptation from YDG's frame. This is a different dragon that they've made. I overlay them to see what's up. Once Fafnir got thicker at certain points, neck and front leg, and his head got bigger, the overall silhouette is looking too squat and comical. Maybe that's it. Yeah, he does kind of look a little bit small. Like there's no reference, but like size reference. But his neck looks a bit scrunched. He looks a little bit chunky. I know we want to reuse the YDG rig as much as possible, so my notes can be tweaked to fit the best rigging. Since he'll be scaled up as a boss and bigger in general, I made his head small so the rest of his frame looks more powerful. Okay. I elongated the neck so his beard has some room to read in the sitting up type posts I imagine he'll have. Oh, so there's more space underneath of his neck. Make it look a bit thinner. So the neck might not be this long, but more of a beard to reference his dwarf origins, plus make him more distinct. 3, a furry mantle over his shoulders and between his shoulder blades. He'll have fur in a few spots, and we want to be a unified motif. Bracelets, anklets. Oh, does this one not have... Oh, it doesn't have the anklets on it. Yeah. Like one of your early examples with the Nordic carvings to again reference his story. Number 5. Some way to make the back leg look a bit longer. It seems stubbier and odd compared to YDG. And once we start posing him, I think we'll blank the bone length back to make a powerful stance. Yeah, he does seem a bit squat. Yeah, you can kind of... I guess this is really easy to see in the side-by-side. He just looks... I don't know, he looks a bit taller. His neck has been elongated. His back legs give a more... like he's in a pouncing position. I definitely like the changes. I think he looks way better like this. Oh, we've got earlier concepts too. Yeah, I think I've gone backwards. It's okay. So we've got early concepts. So it seems like they went with originally number 4 there. Lindworm inspired. Shorter legs, thicker limbs and head. Beard as a reference to a dwarf past and a bracelet. Ring reference. Takes colors from the environment. I really like this bottom left dragon. This number 3. I love the colors. Is more usual for the kind of green I see on other depictions. Interesting. So yeah. This seems like a Fellfire type green. This green seems a bit more, I don't know, icy. I don't know how to explain. I mean, clearly they're 2 different greens. I definitely like this wing type. And this horn structure is pretty interesting. Where from the side, it looks like the horns go forward. But from the front there, they jet out to the side. I think this looks really good. Jade. Yeah. Almost jade. I do kind of wish they went with a nose horn. Like a unicorn. I don't know, maybe I just like dragons that have sort of one horn on their nose. Ooh, okay, we get inspiration. Fafnir in mythology and media. This is a snake with no wings. Sigurd killed him. Oh, yeah, that's right. We do have Sigurd. Sigurd has been confirmed to be in Godforge. His armor is made of his scales, inspired by it. Interesting. So, wait. So Sigurd has... I don't know if I have this in previous... leaks. I don't think we talked about him individually. I think we watched Sigurd be revealed in a video. Yeah, I don't have it. It's interesting. He's got green scales, and he's supposed to be inspired by Fafnir because he took his scales, but like, where's the green? That might be an issue. Man, maybe we don't care. Who cares? Could be embedded on his skin. Oh, this is where they got... This is the ring that we got the bracelet from. I can't tell what this drawing is. I'm trying to figure out what this drawing's from. This dude with the hammer. But I don't know what it's from. Interesting. Other dragons added raid to avoid similar designs. Maybe they corrode that. Oh, I see. So he's made of copper. Yeah, of course we got Smaug. Honestly, I think some some D&D dragons should have been in here. So we've got 1, 2. I guess it's only the 2 different raid dragons. Is this the Black Death? I can't remember the name of the largest dragon in the Tolkien universe. He's just like as big as Smaug is. He's like a skyscraper compared to that dragon. It's like crazy. Skin and membrane particularities. I suck at reading. That's interesting. Interesting. Using beta fish for color design. For like the wings and scales. Interesting. He looks a bit too fantasy dragon. Yeah. So if we look at these sort of other depictions, some of them do look a bit worm-like. Where it's more... more serpent than, I don't know, fantasy dragon. Metallic iridescent scales. Some should resemble golden coins. Although depending on the area, can have any coloration. It would be interesting to add green touches on thinner areas where veins are located since its blood is green. Elongated head shape and different horn shape, multiple horns. Could have some golden hints. Ibex. Yggdragoth. Gulk? I don't know how to say that. So this is a different dragon that they've done. I think this is YDG. Yeah. This is I think I actually don't remember. I don't remember if it's another boss or if it's a playable character. I'm going to go to a fellow content creator's website. RagewoodGaming.com. This person has put together a wiki of sorts. Let's go to Asgard Faction. It's not listed under any of the characters. This person is also like a sleuth, a freaking detective when it comes to like leaks and things. Dungeons and bosses, maybe. Oh, that's right. It was Avalon that the dragon was in. Yeah. Okay, so at least Ragewood has a YDG set as a character, so I'm assuming that he has a little bit more information on everything going on than I do. He's definitely more in tune with all the craziness that happens. So it's interesting. They're using a rig for a character and scaling it up for a boss. Thicker tail, elongated head, different horns, ear membranes, bigger wings, different coloration and metallic finish. Yeah, I'm curious to see what kind of finish they're going to go with on the scales. Powerful scaled drake who can breathe and emanate fire, considering fire on his scales when he's in phase 1. Modeled similar to Smaug. That's interesting because Smaug is a wyvern, right? Yeah, so Smaug has his wings attached to his arms. And he's definitely way more serpent-like. But they've gone with, like, dragon, and had wings detached from the front arms. Smaug and Golem's stories are apparently inspired by this guy's lore by Fafnir. Interesting. How do they relate? Similar to Smaug, Lord of the Rings, and should be impressive and ancient. He has been slumbering for a while, so his ancient vibes should reflect. Okay. Okay, here we get a little bit of his lair. Okay, we get some treasure in gold. Geometric rock formation. Cave column. A weapon rack. Okay. He stole a ring, turned into a dragon, and now has a massive horde. Interesting. You know, it could be worse, right? It could turn into like a toad or something. Yeah, I'm afraid their inspirations for what could be a dragon's lair is far too narrow. I'm sure toads have good day. I feel like they could. They might have a good community, right? Dragons are pretty lonely creatures. Maybe toads. Maybe it might be better to be a toad. I feel like they're. I don't know. Maybe this is just the dungeon master in me thinking, but like, and obviously I don't know nearly enough about this Fafnir person's lore, but we literally can see. I'm gonna bring it up literally right now. We're gonna go. I'm gonna wait till we're at the boss, and I'll bring it up. I'll slow it down. This seems a little bit too raid, in my opinion. I don't know if that's fair, but it does strike a very similar feeling to me. And dragons' lairs don't need to be just in caves. Like, yeah, they're going for the Smaug bit. He had a cave that was in a dwarven city, but like, we could do so much more, right? So here we go. We've got him in a cave with columns and rock formations. We've got gold everywhere. We've got this platform where you fight him. And it's just like I get it, it's a dragon's horde, right? Like, you're not meant to, like, you can't stray too far if you're trying to have him be in a horde, right? But he's got treasure chests everywhere and gold and weapons and stuff. Like, I enjoy that they intentionally. So this is a wyvern, right? This is like technically a fantasy wyvern, where the arms are attached to the wings. It only has 4 limbs, right? The dragon they're going for has 6. So at least in the boss design, they've steered away and done a totally different dragon, which is, you know, I'm gonna go finish my dragon. But like, he's a dwarf. There's going to be dwarven motifs. Like, I feel like it might be difficult because of his lore to not have it in like a dwarven area in a cave. But I feel like there could be more interesting lairs that could be. Like, I'm thinking about black dragons in D&D. Black dragons' dens are always, or their lairs are always compared to beaver dens, where they exist in swamps and they build them in the swamps, but they build them with like 2 entrances, and you have to like swim underwater to get to them. And if you think about like, if you think dragon, you wouldn't think beaver, but like the beaver dam idea for a dragon seems really cool. Like, you know, you could have a dragon that has a lair in a library or whatever. Not necessarily, you know, Fafnir in particular, but I feel like there's just more to be had. Aren't dragons about being on hordes? Yeah, so like, at the very least, in my you know, fantasy knowledge of dragons, like, when you acquire gold from a dragon horde, it could have negative effects on you, because the dragon and the dragon's magic have been like seeping into the gold and to the horde because they literally sleep on it because they're paranoid that somebody's going to come take it. I don't recall reading. Then the dragon cleared a circle in the middle of his gold like a cat needing a thick blanket. Yeah, yeah. So Fafnir's just like in the middle of his gold hoard, kneading biscuits, pushing away all of his gold that he's acquired to make sure that he has a soft area to sleep. Anyway. Okay, we've got version 2. Oh, this was version 3, so this might be like the final concept. This is interesting. Kind of more of the same. A little bit different of an angle. I don't know what angle they're going to take in game, but kind of more of the same. Could have some interesting background atmosphere. This makes the dragon seem kind of small, actually, in terms of size compared to like treasure and whatnot. I don't know how big he's meant to be. This is kind of similar to number 1. Or number 3. Dragon Gold ASMR. Oh, interesting. Okay. Concept sketch. Sphere 1? What does that mean? Sphere 1. Sphere 2. Oh, maybe it's like from one point of view. So this is the point of view of the boss. This is the point of view of the player. Yeah. So the skeleton on the bottom left is the same skeleton on the bottom right here. Like right above my finger. He's just reversed. So this is the point of view of the boss. So he's in this like little den thing. I don't know. Interesting. Human bones. Only humans have died here. Dwarven architecture, piles of gold. Piles of gold? Oh, I read this as piles of gold in the big. It says background. I do like... I think that being a set designer for this is like probably the most fun. Just like throwing in all this chaff and making it look more like a dragon's den. Like putting bones and stuff down and like gold everywhere and treasure. It's probably really fun. More rocks. Falling columns. I think this is the last picture. I wonder if he's in an old dwarf place. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not sure the lore and mythology of where his horde lives or whatever, where Fafnir lives, but it seems very much like Smaug. Where he's in like a dwarven area, so it's not like he could have his lair be out in the open, right? At the top of a mountain or something. As long as I know Fafnir is a dragon that holds a big treasure inside his cave, the gold ring that transformed Fafnir into a dragon also helped him find valuable minerals at the bottom of the earth. Okay. Whoa. A hole opened by the dragon. The rocks are melted by the dragon's fire. Interesting. Oh, that would be sick. Okay. Okay, so we're in a cave. The background has like tunnel systems that the dragon has made with its fire. And the platform you stand on to fight the dragon just has like lava flowing. That'd be sick. Maybe this is a final concept. This is like... I don't know. This seems like there's far fewer treasure and bones than I would have assumed. That'd be an interesting background. I mean, this is version 3, so I'm assuming that this is what they're going with as a concept, but I mean, overall, the boss design I'm super excited about. I'm wondering where they're going to get the sheen from, if a lot of it's going to come from VFX. Maybe I keep hoping that they do something that's like a shimmer effect. Or like a hue change within the actual texture layer. We sort of got it a little bit with Hell. There was like a lava lamp type feel to it, to her legs, but maybe when this is actually fully 3D rendered, it'll have a different feel than just sort of concept art. I mean, I'm interested. It seems like they're definitely leaning into the poison stuff, but if his lair also has fire, maybe he starts out doing like a lot of poisons or burning, and then when he gets enraged, that's when he swaps or does both or something. Seems interesting. And it does seem like, because in this one they mentioned waves. It might be either a 2-wave fight or a 3-wave fight. It's not just a dungeon where you go in straight and fight the boss. Interesting. The red fade of Dracula's cape ended up looking way better. Yeah, I agree. I'm hoping that we get a little bit more like gold with his scales as well. Interesting. I'm super pumped for this. This is actually really cool. I'm hoping we get more bosses. Because I think this, like, we've seen a ton of characters, right? There's still a ton of characters more to see. And more to see of the ones that we have seen. But those are the characters we're going to acquire. Those are the characters that we're going to play with. But the boss can kind of, like, inform us more about the game in general. In ways that a character just doesn't, because we just see like the visuals of a character. If we're getting in here, we get to see if bosses are going to be multiple waves. We get to see if we're going to have a phase 1 and a phase 2 of a fight. If we're going to have an enrage phase, like that I think that speaks a little bit more to the MMO player of me. I'm excited about this. Anyway, if you enjoyed, like and subscribe. And again, if you want to participate in chat, every week we talk about these either on Friday or Saturday live on stream, twitch.tv/vexinglive. I hope you have a good weekend and a good week, and I'll see you in the next video.